Derek Thornberry here with Underpar Golf Muskegon, and for this month we're going to be focusing on how to form a basic golf swing. I break down the golf swing into 3 key positions. So each video that you're going to watch will be position number 1, position number 2, and position number 3, and what we look for to form a basic golf swing. So stay tuned with us. So as I talked about, we're going to be breaking down the golf swing in 3 positions. This video is going to focus on our first position, position number 1. And I like to explain this as just our address position, how to form a correct posture, grip on the club, and how to actually set up to the golf ball before you even are making a golf swing. So first and foremost, the most important thing that anyone needs to know when learning the golf swing is the club face position and why it is important that the grip on the club really plays an important role of where that club face is going through the golf swing. I can always tell if somebody is a good player just by looking at their hands and how they grip the golf club. There are different types of grips out there. You've got your basic interlock, overlap, or even a 10-finger grip. The thing is we look for commonality. You're still going to be holding the golf club the same way, even though your fingers might be interlocked or overlapped or not even at all. The most important thing that you need to understand is when making a grip on the club is that it is in a neutral position. So what do I mean by neutral? I mean that our hands are in a position where the club face will not be oriented in either a closed fashion or an open fashion. So when you make a setup to the golf, to hit your shot, you're going to make sure that the club face is square, pointed to our target line. So that's the first step in anything, is making sure that your club face is pointed in the right direction. So if that club face has its toe oriented upward with the club face pointing toward our target line, then we're good. Obviously, if that club face is going to be open this way, the ball's going to naturally go to the right. If the club face is going to be closed this way, it's going to naturally go to the left, depending on where you come in through the golf ball. So first and foremost, make sure that that club face is pointed to the direction you want the ball to finish. From that point, then we can work on your alignment as to where your shoulders, hips, and feet are going to be parallel to your target line. So obviously I look kind of funny here, and I'll talk about what I'm going to get into with this in a moment. Again, going back with grip, holding it, we're making sure we have connection, we're in a neutral position. How do you grip the club with your hand? Do you want to grip it more in the palm, or do you want to grip it more in the fingers? Well, here's a good tip for you. If you wear a glove and you wear the grip out more towards the palm of your hand, then that's telling you that you're gripping the club too much in your palms. And it's a good indicator of someone who doesn't grip the club correctly. The reason for that is when you grip the club too much in your palm, it's going to create friction on the top of the backswing where your palm is, and it's just going to tell you, I'm gripping it too much in the palm. So pretty self-explanatory. What you want to focus on is having your grip more concentrated in your fingers. Now you have your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky finger are kind of the key places right where your palm meets and connects with those fingers is where you want to rest the club in your hand. Now when you make that grip, it would look something like that. Obviously looking down at it, you can see that the grip is more in my fingers than it would be in my palm. So when I grip over top of the club that way, I have good connection, that club face is coming up square. The next thing is my right hand. If I slide my right hand just over top with my thumb down the shaft line and I slide it down, doesn't matter if I'm using a 10-finger grip, an overlap, or an interlock, you're still connected and you're still neutral. Another good tip is the fact that if you can see 2 knuckles on your left hand, if you're a right-handed golfer, and if you can see 1 knuckle on your right hand, then you're in good position. So why do I have these alignment sticks set up? This is, again, talking about position number 1. We've first off indicated that the grip of the club has to be good. We've second indicated that we're going to be gripping the club more in our fingers. And as long as the club face is pointed to our target line, hopefully the golf ball will go that way depending on how we're swinging the club. So I've got 2 alignment sticks here. One of them is on the ground. It's going to indicate my alignment towards the target line. It's important to know that we do not want to aim our feet at the target line. We want to aim them parallel to the target line. If you aim your feet at your target, then you're going to be closed to your target. So what I mean by that is the club face is what's pointed towards the target, not our feet. If our feet are pointed towards the target, we're going to be aiming left. So just making sure that we're parallel to our target line is what the most important thing is. Secondly, this alignment stick here is at my feet. I have another alignment stick in my waist. This is indicating where my hips should be aligned. My hips and my feet should be aligned in the same direction. From there, we can actually make our setup, and we want our ball for an iron to be more in the middle of our stance. So you can see that I have it more here off the middle of my stance. We bend at the waist. We make sure that our chest is over top of the golf ball. If we bend too much at our waist, our club is going to come down here, which means that we're going to be bent too far over, and I'll show that to you from this angle here. So if I'm bending this, I'm too far over, I use my chest to indicate where I need to be standing. So if your chest is this way, pointed just over top of the golf ball, then you are bent correctly down with your waist. Keeping our back straight, our butt's going to kind of come out a little bit, and we're going to have a little bit of knee flex. So we've made our position, our alignment is good, our ball position is good. And hopefully, if you can get to that, the last key component is making sure that there is a slight forward shaft lean when you're setting up. So the orientation of your hands should be about inside of your left thigh right here. If your hands are too far back, you've increased loft of the club. It's not going to look good. And if they're too over top of the golf ball, you've also still increased a little bit of loft. So it's important to have just a tiny bit of forward shaft lean when you do set up to the golf ball to promote more of a penetrating ball flight. So quick check, make sure that my hands are inside of my left thigh, and I should be good to go. And that right there is position number 1 in the golf swing.